The renowned Stoic philosopher Epictetus once imparted wisdom, stating, "Surround yourself with individuals who uplift you, those whose presence brings out your finest qualities." You may be familiar with the popular adage, "You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Today, we will examine this concept through a Stoic perspective. We shall delve into the 10 categories of individuals who have the potential to hinder your progress in Stoic philosophy, and explore why it is crucial to reassess your friendships with them. Before we commence, I kindly request that you like this video to support the propagation of Stoic philosophy. If you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to do so and activate the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any future videos. Now, let us explore the 10 types of people you should strive to avoid. The first type of person is the complainer. We all have that friend, family member, or coworker who tends to find fault in everything. Whether it's the weather, their job, or even the food at a popular restaurant, they never miss an opportunity to express their... The second type of person to be wary of is the drama magnet. Picture yourself steering your life like a ship on serene seas, only to encounter what might be likened to a whirlpool, the drama magnet. This person's life is a non-stop saga of crises, conflicts, or controversies, and they possess a disturbing talent for pulling others into their tempest of turmoil. Initially, their energy can seem alluring, mistaken for zeal or vibrancy. But it doesn't take long to see that being in their orbit is as draining and treacherous as sailing through a tempest. The challenge with drama magnets is their emergencies often feel contagious, as if their urgencies somehow become yours, spreading disarray and potentially dragging you into disputes you were never involved in. Take this example. You are part of a social circle with someone named Sarah, who frequently finds herself in heated disputes with others. Recently, Sarah became embroiled in an intense disagreement within the group, which quickly blew up into a full-blown conflict involving multiple friends. Sarah is visibly upset and critical of those who oppose her viewpoints, consuming group interactions with her grievances and showing no signs of de-escalation. Despite your efforts at peacekeeping and offering counsel, Sarah's stance remains unchanged. The group's tension persists, and you're left feeling the strain. In such scenarios, Stoic practices can be invaluable. One approach is reflective listening. Rather than attempting to fix or engage in the conflict, simply mirror Sarah's feelings in a neutral tone. You seem really upset by their disagreement. This allows you to acknowledge her emotions without getting entangled in the argument. If Sarah's behavior continues and it begins to conflict with your own well-being and objectives, consider becoming selectively unavailable. This might mean stepping back from... The third type of person to avoid is the naysayer. Imagine you're an artist, and each stroke of your brush brings your canvas to life with vibrant colors and depth. Then along comes the naysayer. They peer over your creation and instantly bombard you with skepticism. Are you sure about that color choice? It doesn't seem quite right. You know, most artists struggle to find success. Their words cast a pall over your work, as if layering dull gray over your bright palette. This isn't constructive feedback. It's a relentless onslaught of doubt and disparagement. Consider, for instance, you're on the cusp of embarking on a new career path. You've diligently researched, sought advice from industry experts, and perhaps even completed introductory courses. Excitedly, you share your plans, only to be met with a barrage of skepticism. It's a saturated market. Do you truly have the skills? What if you fail? Before long, their skepticism seeps into your mindset, causing your once resolute vision to falter. However, don't allow their pessimism to undermine your spirit or conviction. Rather than succumbing to doubt, pose questions to yourself that reframe their concerns into challenges you're eager to tackle. Questions like, what makes the market competitive and how can I stand out? How can I further hone my skills? What lessons can I glean from failure? This approach transforms their critical stance into a catalyst for seeking solutions and overcoming hurdles. The key lies in trusting your own capabilities and not allowing others' skepticism to sap your resolve. So, what's the best course of action when faced with a naysayer, particularly one close to you? One effective strategy is to engage them as advisors rather than simply presenting your goals. When people are asked for guidance, they tend to offer more thoughtful and less dismissive responses. Alternatively, employ positive confrontation by challenging the naysayer to contribute constructively. For instance, if they assert it's too late to change careers, you might. The fourth type of person to be cautious of is the toxic positivist. They're characterized by an overabundance of cheerfulness, often trivializing genuine struggles with a dismissive dose of excessive optimism. Envision your life as a diverse garden where beauty coexists with the occasional pest or weed. The toxic positivist will insist on ignoring the latter, advising you to just focus on the flowers, even when there's a clear problem that needs addressing. For example, if you're grappling with the aftermath of a breakup, which can be an incredibly painful experience, a toxic positivist's counsel can feel especially dismissive. They might say something like, "There are plenty of fish in the sea, just smile and be happy." While this may hold truth in a general sense, it blatantly disregards the emotional turmoil you're currently facing. This brand of relentless positivity fails to acknowledge the full spectrum of human emotions and life's inherent complexities. It's not always about happiness. Sometimes we need to face and process feelings such as sadness, grief, or disappointment. These are natural and essential parts of our emotional experience. Rather than suppressing negative emotions in favor of a solely positive outlook, it's healthier to confront, accept, and understand how they contribute to our growth. Balance is key, allowing for a more authentic and holistic life experience. So how do you protect your garden from being overrun by the excessive cheer of toxitivists? One approach is to engage them in conversations that recognize both positives and negatives. If they say, "Look on the bright side, at least you have your health," you could acknowledge this while also giving space to yourself. The fifth type of person to avoid is the victim. Picture life as a game of chess, where each player begins with the same set of pieces and the shared goal of putting their opponent's king in checkmate. Every move is strategic, sometimes requiring sacrifices and calculated risks. However, the victim sees the chessboard, the pieces, and even their opponent as the cause of every poor move they make. In their eyes, each checkmate is not a result of their own choices, but is due to external forces working against them. Their narrative becomes one of endless suffering, with themselves cast as the helpless protagonist. In this analogy, we can better understand how we face challenges and make decisions in life. In the game of chess, everyone starts with the same set of pieces and a shared objective. The key is to think strategically and plan moves carefully. Just as in moving chess pieces on the board, sometimes we must make sacrifices and take calculated risks to achieve our goals. What distinguishes those who succeed from victims is how they respond to failures and difficulties. While victims constantly seek to assign blame to external factors, such as the chessboard, or their opponent whenever they encounter challenges or failures. Those who succeed understand that life may present challenges and uncontrollable factors. How we respond and decide on our next moves in the game of life ultimately determines our fate. It's important to recognize that in life, everyone faces difficulties and failures, and external factors can affect us. However, the difference lies in how we deal with and learn from these situations. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react and decide our next moves in the game of life, which ultimately determines our fate. When dealing with a victim, especially if they are someone close to you, an unconventional but effective method is to ask open-ended questions that encourage them to reflect on their situation. Instead of offering solutions or becoming a perpetual problem solver, try asking questions such as, "What do you think you could do differently in this situation?" Or, "How can you take control of this aspect of your life?" Another approach is to show empathy and kindness without constantly rescuing them from situations they could navigate themselves. Offer a listening ear and refrain from becoming a perpetual problem solver. It's important to remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. Instead of getting sucked into the victim's narrative, resist the urge to become one yourself. Take control of the game board, make your moves strategically, and remember that in the chess game of life, being perpetually checkmated is often a choice, not fate. Sorrows. Yes, I'm thankful for my respond with what would be a successful strategy for someone looking to make a career transition. This not only the sixth type of person to be wary of is the time vampire. Imagine your daily routine as a carefully crafted symphony where each task and commitment plays its part in creating a harmonious balance. However, the time vampire disrupts this composition, demanding your time and attention without providing much value in return. Whether it's a friend who engages in lengthy and draining conversations, leaving you feeling depleted and behind schedule, or a colleague who consistently interrupts your work with trivial matters, causing you to miss deadlines, time vampires disrupt your focus, productivity, and peace of mind. Dealing with time vampires is essential. Setting clear boundaries and communicating your availability and limits firmly but politely is crucial. Let them know when you are available for calls or meetings, and make it clear that you need focused, uninterrupted work time. Encouraging respect for your schedule is important. Another strategy is to redirect their demands toward more productive and efficient communication methods. For example, if a friend tends to engage in long and aimless phone calls, suggest switching to shorter, focused text messages or emails for quick updates and questions. This helps you regain control of your time and prevents it from being consumed by lengthy conversations. Expanding upon this specific example, dealing with a friend who often makes long, indefinite phone calls can be better managed by proposing a switch to shorter, concise text messages or emails. This not only allows you to control your time and interactions at your convenience, but also creates a more efficient communication environment that avoids the pitfalls of prolonged discussion. By changing the way you communicate, you can derive several benefits. Firstly, it enables you to control your time and interactions at your convenience, rather than being constrained by lengthy phone calls that you may not be able to answer immediately. Secondly, using text messages and emails enables more efficient exchanges, as it allows you to organize your thoughts into concise points and aids the recipient in understanding and responding promptly. Lastly, this form of communication creates a conducive environment for discussing and resolving specific issues, focusing on core questions and requests for accurate responses without the need for prolonged discussions. By implementing this strategy, you assert control over your time and the seventh type of person to avoid is the manipulator. Imagine your life as a movie script, with you as the main character, envisioning how the story should unfold with its twists, allies, and mentors. Then comes the manipulator, like a shadowy producer, subtly rewriting the script without your realization, until one day you find that the storyline has veered off course. The manipulator is skilled in the art of emotional and psychological maneuvering, using flattery, guilt trips, or deceit to steer the narrative in a direction that benefits them. For example, a friend might consistently manage to get you to pay for dinner by saying something like, "I've had a rough month, and your treat would mean so much and make my day better." Over time, you find your generosity being taken advantage of, leaving you feeling uncomfortable or even framed, as if doing a favor for your friend in their time of need. Dealing with a manipulator can be tricky business. One method to counter their tactics involves a technique known as fudging, which entails agreeing with the truth in the manipulator's statements, but refusing to be moved by emotional coercion. For example, if the manipulator suggests that you should cover dinner, you could respond with, "You're right, I am doing well. Let's split the bill this time." Another approach is to set clear boundaries and enforce them. If the manipulator wants to lend money or commit you to tasks that make you uncomfortable, learning to assert yourself in a calm and clear manner while maintaining the friendship is essential. Drawing inspiration from Stoic thought, where Epictetus warned us that we should choose how we respond to external circumstances, not allowing the manipulator to predictably influence our reactions. By choosing to respond differently and taking control of the script once again, you can prevent the manipulator from lurking and remember that you are the one holding the pen to write your own narrative. You may encounter a variety of characters in your life's journey, but ultimately, it's your journey guided by your values and decisions. Reclaim your script and don't let anyone manipulate life's narrative. The eighth type of person to avoid is someone who indulges in excess consumption. Moderation is one of the principles of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing that the accumulation of material possessions does not solve our issues, but merely changes them. As Seneca put it, people are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. People who enjoy excessive eating and consumption-seeking pleasure often find themselves at a detriment. Their lack of self-control creates an unstable whirlwind in their lives. Let's consider the example of Jack, someone who enjoys indulging in excessive consumption. He frequently indulges in extravagant shopping, attends lavish parties, the ninth and 10th type of person to avoid. In today's modern world, with the ease and speed of communication, gossip has become prevalent. Individuals spread stories with little regard for the truth, often leading to negative impacts. Associating with gossip is akin to sowing seeds of mistrust and misunderstanding in life. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Being Stoic means striving for virtue and truth. Engaging in gossip takes us off the path of what's important. It's crucial to avoid engaging in gossip and to also avoid spreading unverified information, as doing so goes against the values of trust and respect. Imagine being in a competitive and sensitive work environment. You've successfully completed a challenging and important project and are proud of the results. However, shortly after, you hear negative rumors about your work circulating within the company. In this case, the role of gossip played by a colleague created a tense environment and fostered misunderstandings about your work, spreading negative rumors. In summary, it's important to be cautious about sharing unverified information and stories, as doing so can place strain on trust and respect for others' values. And regularly dines at